and welcome. I'm Millicent Walker. Tonight, President Buhari returns to Abuja from Katsina State, where he spent the Eid-el-Kabir holidays. Orders ruthless action against armed bandits terrorizing communities in Kaduna, Zamfara and parts of Katsina State. Theatre commander of Operation Lafia Dole reads riot act to soldiers under his command, says disciplinary action awaits 30 soldiers who protested against posting at the Maiduguri airport. President of Senate Dr. Bukola Saraki dismisses claim of fear of impeachment as reason for not reconvening the National Assembly. And Zimbabwe's main opposition leader Nelson Chamisa rejects court ruling affirming President Emmerson Mnangagwa as winner of the July 30th presidential election.
On Business News tonight, the Naira is expected to remain steady next week, despite increase in pressure and declining investment inflow into the country.
And on Sports News tonight, Britain's Lewis Hamilton beats title rival Sebastian Vettel to pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix with brilliant mastery of wet conditions.
Begin tonight with the President's directive to troops fighting armed bandits in the forests of Zamfara, Kaduna and some parts of Katsina states to deal with any armed robber and cattle rustler as ruthlessly as humanly possible. President Muhammadu Buhari, who returned to Abuja earlier today after celebrating Eid-el-Kabir at his home in Daura, Katsina State, gave this order at the airport in Katsina shortly before his departure. He commended the troops for their performance in tackling the criminals and gave the assurance that he will continue to be a worthy commander-in-chief.
I am very pleased with the way you officers and men are firmly putting it down. I want you to be as ruthless as humanly possible. Nigerians deserve some peace. I do not want you to spare any armed robber. What we promised was security. The country has to be secured, to be managed. Their expectations is very high. The second undertaking we made is to improve the economy. We have been doing our best, and we depend a lot on you to do what is in the field.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. Meanwhile, at least 30 suspected armed bandits have been killed in their hideouts in Zamfara State following several airstrikes by the Nigerian Air Force. This is according to the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibukunle Daramola, who explains in a statement that ground troops of Operation Sharon Daji were also involved in the operation, leading to the elimination of the bandits. He says that the Air Force successfully executed airstrikes that destroyed more armed bandit camps in Daji Bawa and Sunke villages in Zamfara State. The strikes were said to have been planned on the heels of intelligence reports indicating that some bandits who had survived the intensive air assault on the various hideouts in the state had relocated to Anka local government area of Zamfara State. Well, staying with security matters, the 30 soldiers who protested recently against their posting in the theatre of operations in Borno State may have to brace for disciplinary action in accordance with military laws. The theatre commander of Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Abba Diko, said this while reading the riot act to soldiers fighting insurgency under his command. Major General Diko, who hosted officers and men at the headquarters of the Theatre Command in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, frowned at any act of mutiny, insisting that the law and ethics which the Nigerian army is guided by will take its full course on errant soldiers.
Discipline is the bedrock of the job of the military. If there is no discipline, then we can't have an army. So if a soldier or an officer errs, he must be corrected, and so the process must go on. But nobody has been disenchanted. We are all, focused in the theater. we are doing what we're supposed to do in order to finish the assignment that we're given. And no matter what it takes, we would make sure that we do it professionally. But nobody is disenchanted. Everybody is motivated. Everybody is being catered for. Everybody is well prepared. And as I speak to you, there are some that are not here. You don't know what they are going through. But you cannot say that you've heard them complaining that they are not in the townships. Some are in locations that are completely out of reach of this, of all of you and I. So please, we must understand the difficult times that we find ourselves.
Away from security, matters of politics now, the delay in assenting to the 2018 Electoral Act Amendment Bill by the presidency has continued to generate concerns among political players in the country. Some political parties have expressed concern over the possible negative effects that not signing the bill into law will have on the 2019 general elections. They are calling on the president to assent to the bill before the expiration of the 30-day window period.
The release of the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2019 general elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) last week set in motion core party activities, including arrangements for primaries ahead of the general elections next year.
The formal commencement of activities for the...
At that news conference, the INEC chairman announced August the 18th to October the 7th for parties to conduct their primaries for presidential, governorship, state and federal legislative candidates.
The formal commencement of activities for the 2019 general elections begins tomorrow, Friday, 17th August 2018, with the publication of the notice of poll. This will be followed by the conduct of party primaries beginning from Saturday, 18th August 2018 to Sunday, 7th October 2018.
Since that news conference by the INEC chairman last week, internal politics among political parties have intensified, with some aspirants increasing their lobbying to get their party tickets. Political parties are also sending notices of their primaries to INEC in compliance with the constitutional provision to send a 21-day notice to the commission. However, one major concern for some political parties ahead of the general elections is the delayed assent to the 2018 Electoral Act Amendment Bill by President Muhammadu Buhari.
We need these laws to be passed to enable the electoral umpire to play adequately, and also to encourage us, the participants, to be able to fully appraise ourselves of the new provisions. If the president is going to assent, let him assent. If he's not going to assent, let us know, so that we will know where we stand as a nation.
Electronic transmission of results will go a long way to checkmate issues of rigging. So if Mr. President claims to be a Democrat, want to maintain the fact that he's now a converted Democrat from being from former military dictator, he should make sure that he has sent to this bill to save Nigerians this nightmare. What are we waiting for?
It is most advised that the president sign it so that it doesn't cause a quagmire, a confusion, which can lead to the Congo option of disrupting the election timetable.
The bill, which has 41 clauses, recommends, among other things, the elimination of electronic voting, safekeeping of the voters' register only in the federal, state and local government headquarters of INEC, and the disqualification of any candidate involved in electoral violence without including the political party. The bill also provides that the use of card reader for accreditation be made compulsory. The reconsidered bill was sent for presidential assent on the 2nd of August 2018 and acknowledged by the presidency on the 3rd of August the same year. The president has 30 days from the day of receipt to assent or decline his assent to the bill.
The President of Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has debunked claims that the Senate is yet to reconvene due to fear of impeachment by the APC senators. Senator Saraki spoke to journalists after a closed-door meeting with the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, that he is confident that Nigerians believe in the rule of law and that those calling for his impeachment are only engaging in cheap blackmail. He says his visit to Delta State is an opportunity to consult with the governor ahead of the 2019 general elections.
We have a country that we believe that a lot of us and a lot of Nigerians believe that democracy must go by the rule of law, must go by processes and constitutional processes on all what we do. So I'm not concerned about that. I think there are a lot of noise being made about that, and I'm sure that once we resume and the processes are followed, you see that would fizzle out the way all the noise about it. It's not an area for concern. The ideas, visions of what we expected was not areas of internal democracy, injustice, and I think, look, those that followed the political tenure the last 3 years have seen what people like us have been through to do this. I think that is just a cheap blackmail to say that. Clearly, those are not the issues. It's not about myself. We're talking about Nigeria. We're talking about what is the kind of country we want to build, the kind of democracy we want, the kind of leadership we want to provide, not only in the continent, in the global world, and in general. And we have not been able to do that. And as much as we tried, as much as possible to do that.
Well, staying with politics, women from across the 18 local government areas of Cross River State have taken to major streets of Calabar, the state capital, on an awareness march to educate citizens on the importance of the continuous voter registration exercise. Well, led by the state's Commissioner for Women Affairs, the women reminded residents that the registration deadline is less than a week away. She asked the women to go back to their various LGAs to educate more people on the need to take advantage of the last few days for the registration.
Very happy for the window that INEC has been able to create. You know, INEC has been able to extend the registration process further. So we are very, very happy and satisfied and grateful to INEC. Reasons why we have, we always take advantage of this crowd of women that are gathered here to say, look, if you have a temporary registration card, this is an opportunity for you to go get the permanent one. Because without the permanent one, you cannot register. And if you are not registered at all, you have to go and get registered. So we are sensitizing them. In fact, you cannot feel complete without having registered. So our message to them is everybody should just gear up to go and register. That is the only way we can appreciate our governor enough, by saying we want to vote for him, because he's done a lot for us as women. So the only way out of it is for us to vote for him come 2019.
And to Lagos, where the ongoing maintenance tests on the Third Mainland Bridge enters its second day today, as the team of experts and officials of the Federal Ministry of Works continue to examine the integrity of the 11.8-kilometer long bridge. While the test was going on, the attention of officials was, however, shifted to the state of the Ido overhead bridge, a portion of which is believed to be failing and no longer safe for motorists. Meanwhile, the Federal Controller of Works in Lagos State, Mr. Adedamola Kuti, has dismissed the claim, adding that the bridge remains intact. The Federal Controller of Works visited the bridge following concerns raised on social media about the condition of the bridge, which serves as one of the alternative routes for vehicles to access Carter Bridge into Idumota for the duration of the closure of the Third Mainland Bridge.
The original contractor that constructed that bridge in July 1958, it was constructed July 1958. Senator, we happen to be together. That's the same contractor that did this particular Third Mainland Bridge. You know, we went there and inspected the bridge and discovered that the news is fake, unnecessary fears, because the structural integrity of the bridge has not been affected. What actually happened there was that maybe, when it was constructed, there was no plan to have a road under that bridge. And so a truck carrying maybe a very high container that has a higher headroom tried to force his way under that bridge, and it affected it's just a cover. Okay. A cover. The beam carrying the load of the bridge to the foundation is not really affected. It's still intact. Still intact. However, we've already got the contractor. We are coming to do some repairs, and they will probably do a barrier to ensure that all these trucks carrying very high load, will not be allowed to pass under those bridges again.
In part 2, after the break, we'll bring you more on the state of bridges in Nigeria. Please stay with us.